Hi everyone, it's Jerry. I have a sharp game to share with you from the 2026 St. Louis Rapid Blitz. This is from the 9th and final round of the Rapid portion. On the white end, Jorden von Foreest playing against Praggnanandhaa. Alright, 25 minutes, 10-second increment. We have a French defense, classical, space grab, e5 reinforced, and the attention from here on d4, these next several moves. Far and away most popular now, move in the game, bishop e3. About a month ago, I covered a game between Aronian and Bluebaum. In that game, Aronian continued with bishop d3. Do check that one out if you haven't already. Alright, in this one, bishop e3, bishop e7, queen d2 castles, and aggressive intentions now with h4. Introducing some fishing pole-like idea. Spring the h file open up, try to quickly coordinate on h7. Okay. Black meets this wing play, striking the center, f6. White takes away from the center. Knight recaptures, downside of h4, hole on g4, black is there, just a blink away. Here comes pawn capture number 2, now capturing away from the center. D takes C it is. These dark squares have opened up for white's pieces. At the same time, black now plays with an unopposed center. From here, knight g4 is played. At the top, computer notes develop the queen and meet queenside castles, not with bishop captures pawn. Nope. Now that we have these kings on opposite wings, it's looking at b6. The idea, open up a file for the rook. Okay, interesting game ahead from here, I imagine. No queen a5. Black makes quick use of that gap on g4. From here, bishop g1 is played. White preserves the bishop. An interesting note here in playing through this game, looking at the database, on Lichess, Jorden had a couple games in there from here with the white pieces. In those games, he continued with queenside castles, so he was certainly familiar with this position. How he plays it in this position, we have the bishop preserved, queen a5, g3, bishop captures pawn, bishop captures bishop, queen captures, and queenside castles. Pop quiz, how would you continue here? Pause the video if you'd like. Okay, black continues here with knight f2. That's move 15. With it, we reach a new position. And with that move, it says black is lost. Now, we'll see how white addresses this soon enough. What is the computer attracted to? It likes the central break. Meeting the capture on d5, the queen exchange, and in the case of rook takes queen, f4 is hanging there, 2 attackers, only 1 defender. And in the case of knight captures queen, this would be a more appropriate moment for knight f2, landing the fork. Also, meeting e5 with knight captures d5, it says carry on with more development. Opposite sides castles game. This c2 pawn in particular coming into focus, half open file for black, considers it equal. 3 result position. Okay, how black plays it, no central break. Black dives in with knight f2. And white follows with the deflect the defender tactic. Knight a4, this queen is not stable. Queen is kicked from defending the knight. Counterattack here. Queen a5. Queen takes knight. Queen takes knight. How to address the pressure on a2. These are the 2 moves to consider. The top move in the game, a3. A positive or 2 behind a3 versus king b1. White does control b4. The queen, knight do not have access to that square. Also, in keeping the king on c1, you're opposite this light square bishop. It's not going to bother the king. Another way you can be looking at it, does the king really want to be on this half open file? Wouldn't it be more appropriate to put the king on b1? I did come across a line several moves deep where it is important to have this b4 square covered, not allowing some queen b4 move. Okay, at the end of the day, a3 best. Black now breaks in the center, e5. From here, queen c5 is played. This is top. White goes right after a weakness behind that last move, d5 under fire. Taking on e5 is a good way to lose. There's a pin here on the f-file. Similarly, the capture here, the knight is in a pin, and black can start to hammer away at that point. So, top here, queen c5. From here, queen e4 is played. Now, if pawn captures pawn was played, white is winning here with queen captures pawn check and bishop b5. This queen guards a lot of squares here. And notice this is one sample line, having that b4 square. Where does the queen go now? The only safe square for the queen is a5, but now that runs into bishop takes knight. Queens are in tension, queen takes queen, bishop recaptures, white is up a piece. Okay. How it's playing out here, black does not chop on f4. We have queen e4, defensive d5, and attack here of the knight. Pop quiz, how would you respond? Pause the video if you'd like. Okay, you'll notice a significant difference with the clocks here. White with still 21 minutes and change. There are two winning moves. One is bishop g2, and the other, the move in the game, knight g5. Was this one on your radar? Giving up this rook, that's how black plays it. Queen takes rook. And the idea, bishop d3. Black will lose the queen or king from here. Black plays it with queen captures rook. If you save the queen, this is how you lose the king. It's a checkmate in 2. There we go. So, black's play is queen takes rook, king takes queen, and we play this queen versus 2 rooks imbalance, but black is not coordinated here, and there are multiple issues to solve, and they cannot both be solved. These here are the 2 issues. What we have now, bishop g4 check, king c1. The follow-up, rook a to d8, covering the d pawn. If you try giving the knight a kick, this is too much to handle. What's happening here, the queen is coordinating with this very pesky knight on g5 on these light squares. So big trouble here for black. After king h8, knight f7, black has to give up the rook now. Otherwise, we would have the familiar, a variation of the smothered mate. No pawn on h7, but control over h7 does the job here. Okay, short story, you cannot allow the queen to get to d5. So no h6. Rook a to d8 was played. Bishop captures pawn check. King h8. Bishop g6, setting up a fork. Next, black covers that. King g8. Knight h7. Tough day for the rook. The minor pieces control all of the rook's squares. Black will lose the exchange from here. Pawn captures pawn follows. Knight captures rook. Pawn captures pawn is played. If black picked up the knight, there is queen takes pawn check, king h8, and queen g5 on the bishop, ready to collect this pawn. And don't go too far with the bishop. There are these ideas nearby. Bishop has a responsibility. Okay. How black plays it does not take the knight. We have pawn captures pawn. And after move 28, bishop h7 check. Black resigned. What do you do from here? You have two options for the king. If the king steps out, you can save the knight. And black doesn't have anything. Will be reeled in soon enough. G2, queen f2 check is there, and you can collect the pawn. Trying to go after the knight here. Bishop f5, there's a check. Bishop takes bishop to follow. If the king tries to hide, you can withdraw the bishop. And next, save the knight. Go after the pawn. We could play this one out just a little bit. There is an important move to play here. Knight f4 in this position, black would be winning. Queen is overloaded with an immediate knight to f4, but one precise move. Queen g3 first, not conceding that f8 square. And next up, knight f4, followed by collecting black's most dangerous pawn. Black is completely lost from here. So what a game. Only a 28 mover. Certainly seemed like Van Foreest was the better prepared here out of the French defense. Significant difference in the clocks in this final position. Anyhow, your thoughts with this one. Feel free as usual to leave any feedback to this video in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed it. And as always, maybe took a thing or two away. That's all for now. Take care.